In this video, let's talk about different types of lights. There are 4 types of lights that you need to learn and keep in mind while clicking in any situation. The first 2 are hard and soft lights. These are not the type of source, but they are defined by the kind of shadows they make with the subjects. The other 2 are diffuse and specular lights. Before we get into details, let's look at some terms we'll be using in this chapter. The sun here represents the source of light. The bright parts of a photo are called highlights. The dark parts are called the shadows, and everything else in between are called the midtones. Also, the difference between the dark and the bright part is called contrast. The sharper the shadows, the higher is the contrast, and vice versa. Now, if the light source produces shadows which are well defined with high contrast, it's known as a hard light, and the shadows are called the hard shadows. This is an example of hard light. The most prominent hard light source is the sun, and in this example, we can see a sharp shadow with well-defined edges. If a source produces shadows that are softer with blurry edges, the light produced by the source is called a soft light. Here in this example, we use a small diffuser to spread the same sunlight. The shadows become softer. There are no overexposed or highlight areas, just a well-balanced light throughout the photo. This is known as soft light and soft shadows. Now there is a correlation between the size of the source and the kind of light it throws. If the light source is smaller compared to the object being clicked, it produces a hard light, and if the light source is bigger or similar to the size to the object, light produced is soft light. Moreover, if the distance of the light source is large, which will actually make the size of the source small compared to the object, the source produces hard light, and if the source is closer to the object, it produces soft light. This table shows the summary of what we have talked so far. No matter the size, if the source is far, it would always give hard light, and a source close to the subject will produce a soft light. Just remember the size and the distance correlation between the source and the object to get the best possible light. The next type of light is diffused. Diffused light can be created with any source with using a diffuser. The easiest diffuser can be a small white card to diffuse the flashlight on the camera. Diffuse light produces balanced light all over the photo with softer shadows like shown here. If we use a reflector that is not white, instead is a reflective surface like a silver or a gold reflector, we get something called a specular light. This light is more like the hard light but is a little more diffused. In this case, the area with the shiny surfaces on the subject becomes really prominent and with more highlight. Diffuse light is more even and balanced, whereas the specular light is bright at certain areas and the brightness decreases as we move away from those areas. This was a brief introduction on types of lights and how it affects your photography. Thanks for watching.